Good morning and welcome to another episode of Daily Discussion. My name is Karen Daly. I'm the Attorney Branch Manager at EKKO Title Ashburn on Loudon, and with me today is Marcus Simon. How are you today, Marcus?
Karen, I'm good, and I'm actually really excited about the information we're about to give to everybody watching.
Me too. I mean, it's a major change that happened to the HOA and the Condo Act, right?
Yeah, so we're in a really hot market. We've
Yes.
been teaching classes on how to make sure your offer gets accepted, and people out there are waiving everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing, right? There's always been one thing that you can't waive. What's the one thing you can't waive?
Well, your HOA and your condo docs.
Right? That's what we always thought, right? And that's
Yes.
actually the case. But you know what? Starting July 1st, you will be able to waive your right to cancel under the Property Owners Association and the Condo Act.
Wait, how did that happen?
So it's funny that you asked, right? So I was actually getting ready to teach a class on this, and I thought that I'd be talking about the big changes being the fact that you might have to pay for your packets up front, right?
Right.
We got rid of the distinction between a condo resale certificate and HOA packet, and everything's now called a resale packet.
Right.
But those are minor changes compared to what I've discovered, which is that in making the decision to combine
Right.
the Condo Act and the HOA Act, they pulled language from both and put it together in this new Resale Disclosure Act. And when they did that, they left out the language that says that the provisions of this act cannot be varied by agreement, and the protections provided by this act may not be waived by contract. So it used to say in the Condo Act, none of this can be waived. It used to say specifically in the HOA Act, where we talked about how you received your packet, that the rights conferred by this section may not be waived. That language isn't there. And so I checked with the attorneys who drafted the bill in the General Assembly, and again, I voted for this bill, right, twice.
Yeah.
So
Of course, it makes sense, right?
So nobody noticed, right? But it's one of those things, you do something big and different, once people start digging into it, that's when you discover some of the unintended consequences. And so in this case, it appears to me, and I confirmed with the attorneys, that right to the prohibition, on variation by agreement, the prohibition on waiving that is gone, which means you can, in fact, say, hey, I know I'm in a competitive situation, forget about it. Don't worry about the Condo Act, don't worry about the HOA Act. I will waive my right to waive anything, so I am a solid contract from day one.
So do you think that's going to be fixed next year?
Well, I mean, the question is, whether it's a fix or not. Now, look, I certainly think this was not an intentional oversight, right? This wasn't done because we think that the market ought to rule it. Hey, Virginia's a buyer beware state, and that includes what's in the HOA and the condo docs. It was an oversight. I do think that probably when we go back in January, we'll try and fix it. But we're going to have 6 months now, because this law goes into effect July 1st. The earliest we could fix it is like the middle of January next year. So we have a good 6 months where we're going to find out what the market is and how much folks are really willing to waive. If it stays really competitive like it is, or you get certain situations where you don't have equal bargaining power, right? Like home builders have often tried to get you to waive everything in their boilerplate contracts. Relocation companies, you must waive everything if you want to buy our property. So we'll find out how much people are willing to waive and what the market's going to bear on this. But it's really important for agents to understand that starting July, for contracts ratified on or after July 1st, the buyers can say, I'm waiving the right to receive my HOA docs or to cancel after I receive my HOA docs. And that, we used to say that was not an enforceable promise. It will be an enforceable promise.
Wow, that's going to be big. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Thanks again, Marcus. As always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We are your accessible attorneys. And we also have lots of content on demand, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day.